Welcome to my channel. My name is Artemis. I help leaders become reborn into limitless energy without chasing trendy traps, biohacks, or supplements, so you can achieve alignment, coherence, and capacity and build kingdoms on this earth. In today's video, I want to talk about the three obstacles that all leaders are facing to come into deep alignment and coherence and expand the kingdom of heaven in your life, your family, and your business. Stay tuned. Okay, if this is your first time to my channel, thank you for being here. Please like, subscribe, comment below this video what your takeaways are from this training, because I'm bringing you 25 years of life experience in leadership and transformation, 55,000 hours of studying the mind-body medicine. And today I want to talk about three things: alignment, coherence, capacity, and the three blocks to achieving alignment and coherence. One is wearing the mask, and your orientation's been hijacked. Number two, trying to expand your capacity to have more, be more, do more in your business without coming into alignment first. And three, the wizard's gate. And the third one is going to blow your mind. So make sure you watch all the way to the end and check out this third insight. Very, very powerful. Now, alignment builds coherence. Coherence expands our capacity, and expanding our capacity as leaders through achieving alignment and coherence helps us to contain power. And this is sovereign. Your power as a leader comes through alignment, coherence, and capacity. But how many times do leaders try to build more capacity, more biohacks, more supplements, more protocols, stack, add, increasing capacity, but they're out of alignment neurologically. You're out of alignment with your soul. If you're watching this right now, you're an amazing individual. You're a high performer. You have created things never before created on this earth. Your decisions actually impact hundreds of people every day. Some of you, thousands and tens of thousands. And yet, the more you're trying to add, you're trying to do the biohacks, take the supplements, do the things that are supposed to work for everybody else, but they seem to just fragment you more and more. You're not getting the results. It's like you get a little better and you get a little worse. And this is called oscillating patterns. You're oscillating neurologically in the vital force. You're oscillating biologically because there's biological deficiencies. And you're also oscillating in your soul because your mind is too dominant in your life. If you are waking up tired, if you feel guilt about resting, if you are constantly going and trying everything under the sun, but still not getting the results, then this training is for you. Remember, alignment comes before coherence. And how do we know we're out of alignment? It's because we have these things showing up in our life and business, like performance creates safety. So let me perform more. Responsibility creates belonging. So let me take on more responsibility so I can belong. Strength prevents rejection. So let me be the strong one. Let me be the hero and the rescuer and keep saving the day for my family and my team, when really that's not working for you anymore. And your body's now become the battlefield. So let's dive into number one, wearing the mask. Now, what is the mask? The mask is identity, orientation, and ego. You have two masks that you wear as a leader until you have to unveil them and evolve. And this is the essence of sovereign, is to erupt into leadership in soul directed through alignment, coherence, capacity, orientation, identity, and architecture. But until we can tap our soul, we have to see what's hiding the soul. And this is the mask. The primary mask you formed under survival, the secondary mask you formed through seeking relevance, connection to your family, to your team, and significance. So for example, the hero rescuer, that's the most common mask. The hero is, I'm going to go out and save the day. I'm going to be the hero and help the victims. And the hero is hypervigilant, holding the line for everyone around him and trying to do big things and be the visionary and transform the marketplace, transform the economy, transform people's lives. And you're heroic. The hero has its place. you built skills being the hero. You built the ability to have a sense of power and creative power. The problem with the hero is that you define your value by what you do, not by who you are. So you're always doing and doing and doing more to become the hero. One of the core orientations of this is I'm not good enough and I'm not capable enough. And so the more you try to feed the hero mask, the more you oscillate. The third mask leaders wear is the perfectionist. Now, there's a total of 9 masks altogether. And if you want more information on where you're leaking power and which mask is acting in your life, click below this video for the Sovereign Power Quiz, where you can learn where you're leaking power and how to come into alignment, coherence, and capacity. The perfectionist. This mask is so insidious. They're thinking, if I do things the right way, I won't be criticized. I have to hold myself to higher standards than everyone else. Relaxing is dangerous because things will fall apart. And if I stay disciplined, I'll be okay. Now, all these masks have virtues. They got you skills. They developed skills in your life and got you to where you are as a leader, but it won't get you the rest of the way. What got you here to this level of success won't get you there to expanding the kingdom of heaven in your life. And really let that land, that in order for you to bring heaven to the earth in your business, you need to come into alignment first, which means you need to be able to see the mask that you're wearing and take the mask off. One of the hidden virtues of the perfectionist, is integrity, devotion to truth, and care for what is right. So when you redeem these masks and you step into sovereign alignment, sovereign power, you're not rejecting them. You're integrating them into your soul's awareness, and then you're taking the good things, the virtues with you, and you're letting go of the survival and the fear patterns. And letting go of those old patterns is really, really key for you to become sovereign in your power. So to come into alignment, number one, we need to unveil the mask. We need to find our true self, and we need to rewire our neurology, our biology into alignment and coherence before we expand capacity. This is key. If you are trying to increase capacity, but you don't have alignment and coherence, then you will fragment your power. But when you align with your true self, neurologically, biologically, you begin to express coherence. Alignment builds coherence. Then you can expand capacity and contain power without fragmenting your energy. This is where you stop oscillating. This is where when you come into neurological coherence, and we're going to talk about that next, that's when your neurology, your central nervous system, is in a sympathetic, parasympathetic poise, and you are now in a balanced vital force. Now, what is vital force? Vital force was a term discovered by Samuel Hahnemann over in the 1700s through homeopathy. Now, in Sovereign, we work with a process called constitutional homeopathy and sovereign power path, where we are able to work intelligently with your vital force and reorganize your vital force through your mind, your emotions, your body, your words, actions, and deeds, where everything comes into alignment. And vital force is the reason why you're oscillating. Have you ever thought, like, I'm doing all these, juices and supplements and biohacks, and why aren't they working for me? It's because you have obstructed or suppressed vital force. Your vital force is the organizing field of energy and information that actually tells the energy in your body how to move in the mental, the emotional, the neurological, and the biological processes. So consider it like your own personalized quantum field of order. And when the vital force suppresses or gets obstructed, and for a leader, what causes the vital force to get obstructed more than anything is living behind that frickin' mask for too long. Because if you're the hero too long, you become hypervigilant. If you're the protector guardian trying to keep everything safe, you're always looking for something bad to happen. If you're the people pleaser, you're always trying to please everyone else without getting your own needs met. And then you start resenting people for not getting your needs met. These masks cause suppression of the vital force. And when that happens, that causes you to oscillate, because the vital force, if it's obstructed or suppressed, it's only going to let you grow to the limitations of that suppression. When you start to reorganize the vital force and take the sovereign power quiz to understand how to begin this process. As the vital force reorganizes from chaos to coherence, your neurology has a new vibrational set point as a leader. Once your neurology comes into that new vibrational set point, you're no longer living in hypervigilance. You're no longer living in performance. You're no longer living in a place of got to, have to, must, got to give up, got to do this, have to. That compulsion, that obstructive vital force, that neurological hypervigilance is what's causing you to hit that glass ceiling in your capacity. It's what's causing you to hit that wall in your leadership. You know there's more available to you as a leader. You know there's more you can do. You have greater capacity, but you have this obstructed vital force causing sympathetic dominance in your nervous system. And this is what shows up. You're tired between 2 and 5 p.m. You're having to use stimulants to get through the day and keep performing. You're going to bed and you're waking up tired. Like that's a big, big red flag that your vital force is obstructed. You're taking all the supplements and biohacks and they're not stacking. You're not building life. You're not regenerating power. Your power is fragmenting, even with all the biohacks, the supplements, and the protocols. And I see this all the time out there. This is why I built Sovereign. This is why I created the Sovereign training system, was to solve this problem of neurological chaos, obstructed vital force. And the results are phenomenal because my leaders who go through this training system, for the first time in their life, they come into alignment with their vital force. They begin to work with their vital force intelligently. And as they're working with their vital force intelligently, now they begin to shift their orientation. They're no longer having to hold the line for everyone else and push and push and push and lead and perform. All of that as a leader got you to where you are, but it won't get you to sovereign power because your choices are dependent upon others and you're seeing the world through the mask. So when you shift your neurology, your biology and psychology will follow. You go from hypervigilant to feeling safe and secure in the body. When you start to land in safety as a leader, your choices shift and your orientation shifts. When you feel safe, when you come into balanced vital force, you begin to shift orientation from mind and mask, from ego to soul, which is intuition. All the divine intelligence, infinite divine intelligence lives inside your soul. Intuition, insight to grow your business, to expand your sales, your marketing, your fulfillment, all of that's going to come through safety, security, alignment, coherence before capacity. Neurology, biology, psychology, alignment, coherence, capacity. These are very important principles. And the first principle of health is vital force, is coming into harmony with this field of information, this energy. And we work with homeopathy. We work with core 4 therapies, warm therapies. We work with hydration, mineralization, oxygenation, and we start to optimize your nervous system in a very powerful way that then shifts orientation. So a lot of you watching this right now, you're looking for the next mindset, the next hack, the next thing to add to my protocols. How can I fine tune what I'm doing, make what I'm doing better? A lot of that desire of more and more and more and more is coming from a hypervigilant state. It's not coming from intuition. Because if you're aligned with intuition, you're actually eliminating things from your life and you're getting clear guidance on how to organize your vital force and come into neurological alignment with your soul. And you don't need all these tools and supplements and potions and powders and red light and cold plunges and all this stuff to do this. Coming into neurological alignment is actually very simple and easy. And so for those of you who are chasing more and more and more, it's because you're hypervigilantly looking for that next best thing that's going to get you more capacity, when really it's coming into alignment and coherence and realigning your neurology through balanced vital force. Truly profound understanding, because you don't need more mindsets, more hacks, more supplements, more tools. You need to shift orientation. And this is the important thing, that most of us in this modern capitalistic society, we're taught add more, do more so you can be more. But it's actually not working for a lot of us. And there's a reason why, is because that orientation of chasing and adding and doing and stacking and biohacking is fragmenting our power. In order to shift our orientation, we have to know where are we orienting from and what do we need to orient to. Orientation is the evolution of personal development, mindset, and transformational technologies. A lot of you watching this right now, I've done the biohacks, I've done the ayahuasca, I've done the mushroom journeys, I take 100 supplements a day, I do cold plunges every day. I don't have more energy. I haven't been able to actually increase my capacity. I'm still waking up tired. It's because your orientation is still behind the mask. That's why what you're doing is not working. It's because your neurological system cannot handle the man or woman that God is asking you to become. And what got you here won't get you there until you come into alignment, coherence, capacity, and shift orientation from your mask to your soul. And this shift of orientation is one of the most important things about stepping into sovereign power. Orientation creates a realignment of where you put your focus. It is a transcendent state. You actually, when you go through this process, you awaken. You actually don't need more. You don't need to add more. You come into alignment and you awaken to your true self. Your true self makes choices from self-guidance, self-direction, neurological alignment. You emanate coherence. You don't have to prove anything more to your world. You command power by who you are, not what you do. You don't define your success by what you do and your accomplishments and the performance metrics in your business. You define success by the levels of flow you experience each day in alignment and orientation with your soul, which is your vision, your values, and your genius expressed through your business, your branding, and your marketing, sales, and fulfillment. This is sovereign. Remember, alignment builds coherence. Coherence expands capacity. And capacity with alignment and coherence is the containment of power, which is sovereign. And this is why I created Sovereign Training Systems, is to actually give people proven, scientifically backed processes that actually help them come into alignment and coherence, and then shift orientation to contain power, to expand the kingdom of heaven on the earth. We must first enter the horizontal plane and achieve alignment. And then we step into the vertical plane and we bring orientation into identity, identity into architecture. And I'll get into more of this in my later trainings. The third thing that's blocking many leaders out there, and I really want you to lean in on this one. I want you to really take what I'm saying deep into your heart if you're a leader watching this. Have you ever made the future better than what you have now? When you look at your 30-day targets, your 90-day targets, your yearly targets, are you constantly chasing more, but deep inside you don't feel content inside? And that discontent is eating away at your mind. You're always thinking, it'll be better when I have that next house or that bigger payday. It'll be better when I can achieve these targets for our team. It'll be better when we can achieve these projections. It'll be better when I have this level of health. Is that going on right now in your head? If you are making the future better than what you have now, you will live in permanent anxiety. And this goes back to neurological chaos, obstructed vital force. When you become aligned and coherent, you are not making the future better than what you have now. And it takes practice. This is where the rubber meets the road for a lot of us as leaders, is because chasing that goal, chasing that target is important to build the skills of the mask, of the hero, the protector, the people pleaser. All these things built skills in us, but then we got stuck in that hypervigilant state, always chasing the future and making the future better than what we have now, never feeling content. And this isn't about celebrating. This isn't about gratitude. This isn't about resting on your laurels. All that stuff doesn't work. This is about awakening to your true self. This is about orientation, identity, and architecture, and creating peak states of flow. And we do this through entering the wizard's gate of alignment, coherence, capacity, sovereign power. When you achieve sovereign power, you have the containment of power without fragmentation. When you achieve sovereign power, you have alignment. And in that alignment, you're inside the wizard's gate. But until you get there, you're outside, looking outside. And there's two aspects to the wizard's gate. One is the future's always going to be better when. You're looking at the future and you're saying, it'll be better when I have more money. It'll be better when I have another car. And then you're never letting the now be enough. And you're chasing. And that becomes exhausting to your leadership. And it begins to create a subtle hypervigilance that your team can feel. And they start trying to live behind their mask more to try to please you and perform for you and do more for you. When in reality, that's just two masks oscillating in reference to each other. When the mask comes off, you stop making the future better than what you have now. And on the other side of this wizard's gate is the world has power over me. So the market fluctuates, the market tanks, interest rates change, a vendor leaves, like whatever happens. If you lose power when those things happen, you're not in alignment. A leader who is making the future better or letting outside circumstances influence their expression of sovereign power is not in alignment. And so we have to recognize there's these two opposing forces. And both of these things are due to the ego, the mind, and the mask that we live behind. When that is eliminated, when we unveil the mask, we redeem it, we step into sovereign power. We don't make the future better than what we have. We don't let outside circumstances affect our field of power. We take command of the field through alignment, coherence, and capacity, and we get into flow. We architect creativity. We access insight, inner sight. This is a very real neurological, biological, and psychological state of being in leadership. And at Sovereign Training Systems, we have proven processes that balance neurology, biology, and psychology so you can achieve alignment, coherence, and that you can actually start expressing this as a leader. And man, it's so liberating. It frees your mind when your nervous system comes into balance, when you have a balanced vital force as a leader, when you know your 30-day, 90-day, and yearly targets, and you're in alignment and coherence, you have a sense of deep peace, deep presence, and power to create through flow, through awareness, through insight, through intuition. Your actions and your deeds come into alignment with your soul. And this is a journey of awakening. This is not a mindset. This is an orientation. You orient yourself differently to your world. And when you shift orientation, when you start to see the world through new eyes, the kingdom of heaven comes alive around you in this orientation. And it's truly profound. When you wake up from alignment's coherence and increased capacity, the soul and God's will are one. And the orientation, it's like a veil is rendered, like the mask is like a little layer of confusion. And when it comes off, you begin to see your business, your team, your marketing, your branding, your targets. You develop this amazing insight, intuition, inner sight, and your choices are now coming from safety, security, neurology, biology, and poise. You're able to respond. You're waking up with energy. You're clear in your energy, and it's sustained all day without stimulants. You have a sense of aliveness in your life and business again, because you're not trying to prove yourself. You're not chasing something in front of you. You're no longer living in hypervigilance. You're living in a state of alignment, coherence, and capacity. And this is when you walk through the wizard's gate. The future's not better than what I have now. Outside forces don't have power over me anymore. And thank God, thanks to Chris Duncan, who taught me this principle. And I'm teaching you this principle of the wizard's gate through the sovereign power frame of alignment and coherence. And this is one of the most liberating places to be if you're watching this right now, is waking up each day in that orientation, in the proper identity and architecture, and building your team, your business, and your legacy, your kingdom from this orientation. So thank you for watching this video today. My name is Artemis, founder of Sovereign Training Systems. Look below this video to take the Sovereign Power quiz to help see where you are leaking power and how you can come into alignment. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.